Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michael, and happy Independence Day weekend, America, to all my American friends out there watching. Um, I'm just out here getting ready to go to the pool, but before I did that, I thought I should probably do my June wrap-up since it is July 3rd. So, if you watched my June TBR, you will know that I had 4 books planned to read. And as predicted, I didn't get through the final one, but I did pretty well, I thought. So, what I'm talking about is The Living Dead by George A. Romero and Daniel Kraus. Now, this is a big boy, 650 pages long. I got to page 200, so about a third of the way through. And I'm enjoying it pretty well, so I can't wait to see how it's going to wrap up. I'm not going to say anything else about this because it will be in my July wrap-up. So, tune in next month when I discuss this more in depth. It's good so far. So that leaves us 3 books to talk about, which isn't too bad, considering I didn't even start these until mid-June. I'm not one of those that reads 5 to 10 books a month and talks about them for 30 minutes to an hour. I'm too slow of a reader, and that's okay. It is what it is. So, let's talk about the 3 books that I did read and finish. Coming in, my least favorite book that I have read out of all the 2020 books that I've read so far. That would be The Invention of Sound by Chuck Palahniuk. Now, I've never read Chuck Palahniuk before, but I've heard his style is very different. He writes gritty characters, which is all fine and dandy. But I didn't enjoy one thing about this story. I mean, it's super short, so that was a good thing. But I didn't like his style of writing. It seemed very choppy, very weird word usage, and the dialogue especially with some of the characters. There were no chapter breaks in this book. It was broken up into 3 parts, and each part it jumps back and forth between the guy who is searching for his daughter. His name is Gates Foster, and then it jumps to Mitzi Ives, who is this sound producer in Hollywood. So, yeah. The no chapter thing really got on my nerves. I like chapter breaks. But just jumping back and forth between the points of view, it didn't give you enough time to get involved with either one of them, really. And that was okay because I didn't really want to get to know either one of them. And when the storylines converge, it doesn't go how you expect it to. I don't really want to give away any details for those of you Chuck Palahniuk fans who haven't read it yet, but yeah, it doesn't go like you think. And then it gets really convoluted in the end, and you don't really understand what in the world has gone on, which I hear Chuck Palahniuk stories usually go that way. If you've seen Fight Club, you'll know. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to recommend this to anyone. I thought it was pretty weird, which is okay if it's interesting. And I really thought it would be. Now, there were some scenes that were graphic. Okay, that's fine. There was one scene with Mitzi who is with her boyfriend and they're having rough sex, and she wants him to put his foot on her neck while he's, doing his thing. Kind of hoping he would kill her. She's a fucked up character. I'm trying to think of anything positive about this story. There was one thing, I guess. This is maybe a spoilery thing. If you don't want to know, then just skip ahead to the next book because this will be it. The only thing I found interesting about this is when Mitzi creates a sound using a human subject that creates, what does she call it? Well, I couldn't find it, and it's not that important. But you know how when dogs howl because other dogs are howling, It creates this like symbiotic thing. I don't know. Well, anyway, she creates this scream that is so loud and powerful and disturbing that it goes and is inputted into a movie, and then it transcends to the audience, and the audience mocks this scream with their own, and it becomes this huge thing, and it actually destroys a building. So that part was pretty cool. But yeah, The Invention of Sound by Chuck Palahniuk. I'm going to have to give this one a big old, wait for it. Yeah, big old boo. So overall, guys, with this one, I think I would put in your earphones, put on your noise canceling headphones, and listen to something good, because this sure wasn't. So coming in second place with this go around is about a murderous clown in a small town America, and that would be Clown in a Cornfield by Cesare. This was a pretty decent story. I enjoyed it for the most part. It's a young adult novel. It follows this girl, Quinn, I believe that's her name, yes, who moves to this town in Missouri, I believe, with her father. They're off to make a new life for themselves. And, you know, she immediately gets involved with the wrong crowd, so to speak. But it's all by accident. So she befriends these people, her classmates, and she decides to go to a party they're going to have in a field, a barn of some people that are out of town. And once they get there, they run into a little bit of trouble. Now, I like that you can see the clown's face in the cornfield on the cover. That's pretty cool. This was a decent story. It takes a little bit for the action to happen, but I think it happens like halfway through, and once it does, it doesn't really let up. So I enjoyed that. The kills were pretty gruesome. The motives were a little weak, I thought, but overall, I thought it was enjoyable, just as a fun little slasher read for the summer. So yeah, I'd recommend it if you're into slasher movies or slasher books. And just ignore the little revelation between some characters at the end, which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It was kind of confusing. They're set up to be possible love interests to Quinn, possibly, but turns out not so much. Clown in a Cornfield. It's okay. It's worth a read. I dig it. So that leaves one more book, and it was surprisingly my favorite of the bunch, and that is The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. Now this story is about a girl named Carly who in 2017 goes to Fell, New York, a small town in upstate New York, to discover the secrets of what happened to her aunt that disappeared from here in 1982. So each chapter is devoted to one or the other perspectives and timelines between Viv, who's the aunt, in 1982, and Carly, the niece, in 2017. This is a haunted hotel. It's no secret. But what exactly happened to Viv in 1982? I mean, Carly's determined to find out. But I'm so glad that we got just as much time devoted to Viv as Carly, because I actually enjoyed Viv's storyline more than the present day Carly. So yeah, Sundown Motel. Check in. Just don't stay too long, I guess. One thing I didn't like about this story is that Miss St. James likes to describe what each character is wearing after every introduction. So like this guy, let's call him Pete, because I can't remember the side characters' names. Every time Pete would enter the scene, he was wearing a black sweater with tight jeans, and the sneakers were blue and white, and his hair was this and that. I'm not a fan of when authors take the time to describe what each character is wearing, because I really couldn't care less. It's not important, and I think it would have cut down at least 20 pages of this story if she had not done that at every moment, at every scene. But I can overlook that, and thank God I enjoyed at least one of these pretty well. The Sundown Motel. If you're into thrillers, mysteries, ghosts, I highly recommend this one. Okay, so that was it. That was my big wrap up for June. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great, fantastic holiday weekend, if it is a holiday for you. So yeah, I thank you for watching. I thank you for stopping by. I hope you come back again. And until next time, keep turning those pages. Bye.